Okay guys, here we go. Not got much today, but I've just got one Blockbuster trade that happened in another league I'm in. It's a cold, chilly day here in Scotland, so I'll get this done quickly. It's in the Any Given Sunday Superflex League. Now it's a 14 team league. That's an important part. We've got myself, too many rooks. I gave up Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and my 2023 first, third and fourth. I don't have a second. And I traded with Mike, one of our group, Dragons, and I acquired Christian McCaffrey, Tua, and Saquon Barkley. Now I'll admit, this is a league that I'm not planning being in for long, so I was planning moving off of Burrow for an older quarterback. Now Mike doesn't have an older quarterback, so the next closest thing was Tua, who I think is still going to have good production. Obviously it's a massive drop from Joe Burrow. Now we'll have a quick look at the trade calculator just to see what that shows, and surprisingly it shows that I actually gained more than I gave up, whereas I think almost everyone in our group said they prefer the Burrow side. So that's interesting. Now I'll be the first to admit I don't tend to use a calculator much now, other than just to check things afterwards. I've got my own valuations based roughly on trade values, and I go by that. I think Mike has very similar valuations to myself, so when you've got two people that are on the same wavelength, it's a lot easier to get a trade done. Now I was trying to get rid of some of my first round picks and acquire these aging running backs, and I sent a few offers, I think, but eventually I sent the offer with Burrow, this bulk offer, and Mike accepted immediately. Again, we've talked about this before. If you see an offer you like, don't counter just to try and get a little bit extra. If you like it and it's a deal you would do, just accept it and don't risk losing the potential deal. So yeah, you'll see by the trade, the Dynasty trade calculator, that it's slightly in Mike's favour. I would have probably thrown in the second if I had it, but hey ho. Now, as I say, I'm not going to be in this league, so my plan was to go all in to win the title. Now, Barkley and McCaffrey, I think McCaffrey's hitting his age 26 season, Barkley's hitting his age 25 season, so they're still really at their peak, in their prime. It's just obviously the injury concerns. But if I'm going for the title this year, two great running backs, automatic plug in and start them every week, as is Tua. Now on Mike's side, I gave up Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I've got plenty of shares for him, so I don't mind getting out on some of them. I think the Ronald Jones signing at Kansas is interesting, because I think it means he's going to avoid early draft capital at Kansas for competition. Now we don't know how Kansas are going to use Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Ronald Jones. None of us know that in April. Kansas probably have an idea, but they're not going to actually execute their plan until they see what happens on the field in pre-season in the first few games. Clyde Edwards-Helaire might still be the RB1 in Kansas. So while his value's plummeted, I think there's still potential there. And he's still young, and he could get a trade or move to another team, and that'll just hopefully boost his value back up again for those of you that have shares in CEH. Now my future first, I'm hoping it's going to be a late one, but the 2023 class is loaded, so that's valued quite high as well. Now on Mike's side, again, he's already got Justin Herbert, so he's got himself Herbert and Burrow. As he pointed out in the chat afterwards, He's set at the quarterback position for the next 10 years. Mentioned briefly at the start of this video, it's a 14 team league, so the importance of the quarterback position is absolutely heightened. Do I think I'd have got this trade done in a 12 team league? Not a chance. Not a chance. Because the values of Burrow and Tua are lower and closer together. So breaking down this trade, I would basically say it's like Burrow for Tua and Saquon, which I don't like doing. And it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire and my set of 2023 picks for Christian McCaffrey, which is probably about my limit if we count CEH as still worth a late first. So let me know what you think of this blockbuster trade. What I will say, me and Mike are both sensible enough to realise if you're wanting prime assets, you have to give up prime assets. It's none of this, oh, I want Joe Burrow, I'm going to give you James Robinson, I'm going to give you, I don't know, Jerry Jeudy, I'm going to give you DeAndre Hopkins. You know, they're all good players, they're all certainly good players, but if you're wanting to acquire stud players, you have to give up stud players, you have to give up prime assets. You know, it's like we talked about in another video. You know, there's a huge difference trading Joe Burrow in a package that includes the 101 than trading Joe Burrow for a package that includes this year's 106. It's absolutely massive. So yeah, I woke up to that trade this morning, still got a lot of wheeling and doodling to do in that trade. So if you're in that league, come and make me an offer. Oh, one more thing guys. I'm doing a consensus rankings for the rookies this year, hoping to get that video dropped off before the NFL draft. So if as many of you as possible can send me a list of your top 25 rookie rankings as they stand at this minute, just a bit of harmless fun. Nobody's going to think, oh, he's ranked him here, he's ranked him there. Because if you draft like that, you're only going to harm your own team. You know, you draft for what you need, not for what you think the person picking after you is going to do, the person picking before you is going to do. And rankings and a mock draft at this time, before the NFL draft, are pure fun. They're not going to count for anything in 3 or 4 weeks' time. So we'll just go through that trade again. We got me giving up Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2023 first, third and fourth, and I acquired Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey and Tua. I think it's a pretty much fair trade. We've had quite a lot of comments on it across that league and across our group. Everyone seems to think it's a good trade for both sides. It's a perfect example of why you look into what your trade partner's doing. It's a trade that benefits both sides. You know, I think we've all had trade offers where we can see the benefit to the person making the offer, but there's no benefit on the other side. You know. So I've recognised that Mike's planning a rebuild. Mike's recognised that I'm planning going all in for the season. So the two of us have met. We've been realistic. You know, I'm not trying to acquire Barkley for 4 second round picks, because what's 4 second round picks worth? Not a fucking lot, you know what I mean? Your chances of hitting with them second round picks are a lot less. So let me know what you think, guys, and keep them trades coming, and we'll do some good analysis. Got a big show coming up with Marker tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. See you soon, guys.